What up? Your boy MC Shadow. Finally at the pad, out of work. Um, Now I've been wanting to do this video for for some time, but I had to get um, all my research and everything. You know what I mean? Before I speak on it, because I think it's something important, and and so far from what I've been seeing, um, people, seem to have everything all mixed up and it's not like really like understanding, you know what I mean? And if you hear the yelling in the background, those are the munchkins, they on the PlayStation, so you guys already know they be getting all kinds of madness on that. Anywho, but before people want to like criticize and everything like that, I pick no side. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that they're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just giving my opinions and how I see it. You know what I mean? So, before want to speak, how about you try listening? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem that nowadays people don't want to listen. Like, like if it's not saying like what they want to hear, like they're so quick to like shut it down. You know what I mean? But like, what if that was part of the explanation and then it was gonna come full back around? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just always so quick to judge, like listen, you know what I mean? Like try to listen, you know what I'm saying? Because um, that's the key, you know what I mean? And there's, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, there's a bunch of different things to talk about, you know what I mean? Go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, and if you gonna talk shit or whatever, I mean, fuck, at least give the reasons why, like you feel the way you feel and or how you see it, and we could debate about it. You know what I mean? Shit, you might prove me wrong. You know what I mean? But let's debate about it. Don't just be right there talking all this shit, calling me all these names and all this shit like it always goes down. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm civil. Let's be civil about it. Like, let's have a debate. Shit, like you might get me on, on board. You know what I mean? Or are you scared that I might get you on board? That's a real question. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But that's it. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel. Gracias. It means a lot. You know what I mean? And fucking, I'm one. I don't shy away from nothing, homie. Like I speak my opinion and I tell it what it is. Like I tell it how it goes down. Like even nowadays, people, they don't even want to say the N word, you know what I mean? Like on here, like when I'm giving an example and I say nigga, you know, I do, because fucking, I don't disrespect. I got a gang of homies that are black. Shit, homies from my neighborhood, from my barrio that are black. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna tell me, you know what I mean? Now, I say it with an A, not an ER, homie, because if you say it with an ER, that's something else, homie. Like, you disrespecting right there. You know what I mean? I don't use the word, nigga, like I don't use that word. You know what I'm saying? I got homies that use it, but I don't use it. But when I'm like explaining stuff about like, I kind of like to go into into character when I'm explaining how these foods be like, like spitting it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I got a gang of homies, that are black, and never said it with an ER, homie. Never, dog. Because that's disrespecting. That's why, like, when it comes to this race thing, it's such a, for me, it's a sensitive subject, because I got homies from my neighborhood that are black. Shout out Pudgy, you already know. I got his brother Blackie too. I got shout out to the homie runs from fucking Insane. And I got a gang of homies that are black. You know what I mean? And then I got a gang of homies from my neighborhood that are white too. Shout out to the homie Slow Boy. You know what I mean? But uh, there's just hey, Wedo. Uh, um, these fools, people just need to understand this thing, right? When it comes to Black Lives Matter, they need to understand first, what is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a group that was started by mothers who lost their children, to gun violence and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was more like a therapy group, where they met up and they were able to, talk, and because no one's gonna know a mother's pain about losing their child except other mothers that have gone through the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. So then when a kid will get, gunned down or whatever, they would go and like give their advice and their support, and vice versa. You know what I mean? As time has gone, yeah, they gotten bigger and more involved in different things, and that's cool. But people have to understand one thing: Black Lives Matter is not like a clubhouse, or it's not like a group where it's like they gotta vote you in or you get jumped in, like you know what I mean? Like anybody could go out there with a sign that's, and be protesting Black Lives Matter. So technically, anybody is Black Lives Matter. Anybody's BLM. You know what I mean? Like these fools are putting that shit on the group, like you know what I mean? Like, so right now there's two types of Black Lives Matter. You have the ones that believe in the original, what it originally was, because um, there's a quote that said, you know, it goes back to Greek philosophy. You know what I mean? The god of wine. You know what I mean? The most jolliest god, the most funnest of god, the dancing god, the one that everyone likes to be around. But too much wine, he becomes the most dangerous, the most destructive, and the most wicked. You know. Well, my bad. Normally, fucking don't like editing and all that shit, but fucking didn't realize my phone was dying. Got caught slipping, homie. Shit. Thought I was prepared for everything. No, but like I was saying, there's the Black Lives, the different, you have the ones that believe in originally, the original fundamentals, what it stood for, what it stands for, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Then you have the other ones. These are the ones that I have a problem with. Like the ones that want to use Black Lives Matter to justify their poor decisions in life. The reason why they're in the situations or predicaments that they're in. You know what I mean? Blaming it that whites have, and then the white people that fall too. Like, there is no such thing as white privilege. That fucking shit does not exist, homie. The only people that have privilege in this fucking world are the fucking wealthy, homie. They're the only ones that got privilege. There is no white privilege. Yeah, people need to knock it off with that shit. You know what I mean? Cause trust me, when them bullets fly and when them knives start swinging and everything, white privilege does not exist. When bombs go off, white privilege does not exist. You know what I'm saying? If I run my own business, it does not exist. If a black man runs their own business, it does not exist. If and yada yada yada, knock it off. People, instead of, nowadays, nobody wants to see their flaws, and everybody has them. I got my flaws. Everybody has them. If you right there sitting and you believe that you don't have any flaws, and you can at least name several things that are wrong with you or your character and everything like that, you need to do some deep down self thinking. You know what I mean? You have a troubled mind. You know what I'm saying? And if you keep on thinking the way like that, um, your life is constantly always gonna have problems, and you're always gonna be restless. You know what I mean? You're never gonna have peace, and that's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? But everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we gotta look in the mirror and fix it. So sometimes when these fools don't get picked for a job or what it was, or whatever the fuck, um, instead of being like, oh, I could have improved in this and that. Nah, it's so easy to turn on all of this and that. Like, people give up your homes or give up your jobs or whatever. Like, this is America, freedom of speech. People want to talk about like, oh, fucking they're trying to take our rights away, but you're stripping people of their rights, to say what they want, even though their views, is horrible, whatever. Now, so you got those two kinds of BLM, but everyone always forgets that and just wants to put them all together in the basket. That's the problem with people, and when they speak on stuff, their anger gets in the way. You know what I mean? Because they're all one sided. I pick no sides. I hear both sides out, and I try to study and see what's really happening here. And what I get is that these people are mad and stuff like that, towards this side. And I'm starting to see that on this side, which is the Black Lives Matter side and everything like that, it's more of the younger generation, more younger people, you know what I mean? And then on the opposite side, it's more of older people. And I'm glad it is like that because, yes, people always forget about time. Time is always going to play a factor. The age difference between the two. But here's what here's what I like about it. From gathering my information and seeing for what it was or for what it is that it's like if these people that are speaking are old enough to be the opposite side's children. you know, if they had him like at a youngish or you know you know type of age. You know what I mean? Um, so the reason these young kids think the way that they think is on the teachings of you guys. You know what I mean? And the reason the opposite side is so are like brats is because like if they're dealing with their parents. You know what I mean? Both sides are wrong. I'm gonna tell you why they're wrong. The younger generation um, wants everything their way, wants everything catered their way. They're not even willing to listen to the opposite, side. And just how before they feel like their voices are used to get silenced and they wouldn't let them speak or hear them out. Now you're silencing the other side. The side in which you didn't like being. Oh, revenge! How it tastes so sweet, doesn't it? Come on now. The way to fix these problems is to be the bigger person. If you didn't like how that felt, you know, let's be civil. Now talk about it. But people don't want to talk. Instead, they want to make these outlanded fucking like nobody's life matters into Black Lives Matter. What the fuck were you thinking when you said that? Like, that's ignorance. Telling people, to give up their homes because they're gentrifying the areas and stuff like that. That's ignorance. Come with sit down and actually really gather your facts, man, and what you guys really want. Like that, all this shows is how disorganized you guys are. You know what I mean? Especially when you're rallying. How about you guys get everyone together, and then when you see somebody that starts getting out of hand, you tell them that they gotta leave, and now, homie, you're not part of Black Lives, and give them the boot, because they make you guys look bad. You know what I'm saying? But if everyone's just standing around and well, this is what they get for always, silencing us and everything. Revenge tastes so bittersweet, and I forgot that revenge is the best way to fix problems. You know what I mean? Like, I have always told people, man, when they came and they smoked my homeboy, dog, it was a must to go back and bust back, homie. I'm glad that everyone finally agrees. Oh, you don't? Oh, I'm sorry. Alright. My bad. Sure could have fooled me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, now the opposite side. Uh, for not applying the teachings, for not guiding your children in a better way, for not sitting down and explaining scenarios, for wanting to keep avoiding your children in conversation because they're so dumb, they won't understand, or not having the patience, or the fact that you didn't even want to explain it in layman terms for them to understand. Yeah, I was now coming back and biting you guys in the ass. You know what I mean? Hear them out too. Just because they're young doesn't mean that they're stupid and they got no good ideas. The thing is that both sides are coming in aggressively and everything that no one can fucking talk, dude. You know what I mean? Hey, if you come at somebody fucking tripping, homie, they gonna come tripping back at you. You know what I mean? So, if y'all really want to talk, homie, you know how to come to the table. But nobody's willing to. You know what I'm saying? So, both sides are fucking wrong. And all four parties are also wrong. Because all of you guys are acting like fucking children, dog. That's just real 100% facts, homie. Listen out to the other side and don't be afraid that they might convince you in some things. That ain't a bad thing. Like, hear them out, and if you stand with it, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't folding. You ain't You ain't fucking being brainwashed and everything. Like, you're being an adult. Holy fucking dog shits, man. I can't believe. Yeah, huh? You gonna stay? You gonna ride your party side till the wheels fall off, huh? Loyalty, dog. Man, all the shit that they talk about gangs and how stupid they are. That's what everybody fucking doing right here. Like, it's okay to see it from the other side's point of view too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You ain't folding. You ain't. You're still staying true to your your true beliefs. You know, cause hey, not everything is 100. Perfection does not exist, homie. Everything has its flaws. You know, and it's cool. You know. And now, as for the Democrats, now the Democrats, they're just using Black Lives Matter. You know, they're just using these fools. You know what I mean? Because once these elections and all of that shit's over, guess what? They're gonna start applying the laws, arresting everybody, and get the fuck out of here with all that bullshit and blah 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 blah. And then it's be like, what? I thought you guys were down with us. Like, nah, homie, it was just a political move, fool. They're using you guys to push their agenda. You guys just don't see it, but watch. Mark my word. When these elections are over, you gonna see if they still gonna be back in your guys' plate like how they are. Don't fall for those fucking tricks, man. You know, that's what they doing right now. They ain't never gonna admit it, homie, but you gonna see when these elections are over. We gonna really see if they still have your back like how they have your back. The same motherfuckers that took a knee when George Floyd died and put the fucking African things in it. Why did they have to do that extra? Why couldn't they just take the knee? We would understood what the knee was for George Floyd. But nah, they had to dress up in these get-ups and everything like that. Ha ha. Y'all some sad pieces of shit, you know that? Like, oh, I'm done with my Mexican friends. Let me put my sombrero, my maracas. Like, yeah, that's the only way we would have known that you were down with us, dog. If you didn't put all of that get up on, for we would have never known. You know, I must be blind. You were out here marching with us and signs and everything, but nah, it took the disguise. Now you don't fall for the tricks. Wise up, MC Shadow, and I'm out.